Hello and welcome to our series of interviews and sit-downs with the people who made the postgraduate and now Masters of Science in Financial Regulation and Compliance. And today we are joined by Professor Christopher Buttigieg, who is the Chief Officer Supervision of the MFSA and also the co-creator and co-lead of the Masters of Science in Financial Regulation and Supervision. Chris, would you like to give us a small introduction of yourself and your career?
I'm the Chief Officer Supervision at the Malta Financial Services Authority. I'm also the board member of 𝐂𝐨𝐬𝐧 and EBA, and I'm also an associate professor at the University of Malta.
Okay. I'll take us a little bit back by a couple of years, and by a couple of years I mean about 6 to 7 years. In around 2019, you created the Financial Supervisors Academy, correct? You were one of the people that spearheaded that creation. Can you walk us through kind of the idea of why you came up with the idea of the Financial Supervisors Academy? What is the importance of it in the industry, and how you came up with that?
I mean, it was a time when the authority had decided that it wanted to grow. Malta is an international financial center, and we are responsible for a number of entities that provide cross-border business. We therefore are responsible of ensuring that these entities, including the entities that are servicing the local clients, are complying with the regulatory framework. Regulatory framework has become significant in terms of the substance of the rules that apply to financial service providers in Europe. After the great financial crisis, Europe decided to go for a single rule book, which means one harmonized rule book for the entire EU. And the depth and the level of regulation has, as a result, increased substantially. Malta is growing in financial services, as I mentioned before. It's an international financial center. We're attracting entities coming from different countries to come here, get a license from here, and then provide service across the EU to ensure that we are capable of providing supervision and of carrying out, actually, supervision, which is to a certain standard. We decided that we needed to grow. We needed to grow in terms of number of employees at the authority that are supervising the industry, but also in terms of investment in technology. But with respect to the employees, I mean, financial supervisors don't grow on trees. They need specialized skills. They need investigative skills, analytical skills. They need to understand the different business models within the industry. They need to understand developments. And the training being given by different providers, while it's very good, however, it's not tailor-made for financial supervisors. So at the time, discussions within the senior leadership team of MFSA, we all agreed that we needed to have our own academy to provide training, specialized training to the financial supervisors and the employees that are joining the MFSA. As a result of that, we included it in our vision, 2019 vision of the MFSA, which had been published at the time. And in 2020, it was basically established with the first conference. It was established during a difficult period because it was COVID times, and therefore we had planned a conference in financial stability, the first conference of the authority to launch it. Unfortunately, from something which had to be a physical conference, it ended up on a virtual online conference. From then on, I mean, it has done a fantastic service at MFSA. I mean, a number of training is given every year. Training that is needed is identified as a result of a training needs analysis carried out by the People and Culture Department. And a curriculum of all the training is prepared and implemented on a yearly basis. And this is not only provided to the MFSA staff, but is also offered to other regulators. So basically, the Academy has two objectives. It has the objectives of giving training to our staff, but also to be a means of networking with other regulators by providing them with the opportunity to get training from our academy.
I think in the earlier interview that I had with Benjamin, who also works with us in the creation of the postgraduate diploma, one of the idealisms that I think I picked up from you in our now 6 years working together on the FSA was the intersection that the FSA is for many things, right? It's not just the training that we provide to our internal staff members, it's the projects which we implement within the industry and the capacity building within the local industry, and also the knowledge sharing between our peers on a European level. How do you see the University of Malta project, our postgraduate diploma, and now master's degree of science, tying into kind of financial literacy, capacity building within the local industry? What was the main driver, in your opinion, behind this project?
MFSA has a very important role within the context of Malta's financial system. We are the people who are assessing the entities that come to us for authorization. We are the people who are continuously supervising these entities and taking enforcement action where required. I mean, one of the things that we've identified over the years that we need to build more capacity in Malta. Now, the most important educational institution we have on the island is the University of Malta. It's been established for probably more than 300 years now, since the times of the Knights of St. John. It has contributed significantly to the working population here in Malta by every year giving education, professional education to a number of professionals and also producing the thinkers of the island, which are very important for the development of the economy and the strategy of the Maltese economy. And hence we decided to work together. So we brought these two institutions together. We discussed with the Dean of FEMA, Professor Simon Grima, how we could develop this program. We worked together on this program, and the idea of this program is very, very simple. We want to have more people out there who are capable of taking on the role of directorships, taking the role of internal auditors, taking the role of risk managers, compliance officers, money laundering reporting officers, and who are competent in the various fields that I've just mentioned. The degree is structured in such a way that if you see, for example, our supervisory priorities, it very much reflects what the MFSA is looking into and has been looking into for the past 6 years. So you've got the issue of governance, risk and compliance. You've got the issue of internal audit, you've got the issue of sustainable finance, you've got the issue of financial crime compliance, you've got the issue of anti-money laundering and also compliance management.
And digital finance as well.
And digital finance as well, and especially in digital finance, the area of cybersecurity and the area of crypto assets.
Crypto assets,
so it's structured in such a way which would allow any person out there, whether it's a person who has a qualification in finance, commerce, economics or accounts, or any other.
Or any other,
It's, for example, an engineer who would like to develop his career in the field of financial regulation and compliance. To do this degree, and this degree is many of the lecturers are either employees of the MFSA or former employees of the MFSA, so who have a very strong background not only on regulation and compliance and what the rule says, but also how the rules are implemented in practice. So basically it's a course which is tailored for anyone in the out there, any person who's a professional who would like to develop his career in this field, do this degree and move on in financial regulation and compliance.
I think that it's very important that we've integrated a wide range of guest lecturers during the degree. I mean, MFSA employees, industry participants, our counterparts at the police, at the MBR are also part of the curricula. You've had a very long career in financial supervision, about 25 years, I think, you've been in this field. What do you think kind of the future of supervision looks like? What should we look for that's coming on the horizon, you think, in terms of the financial services landscape?
And that's a very interesting question. It's something that we're currently reflecting on. In fact, I am in the process of organizing a strategy day with the heads of supervision to discuss the future of regulation and supervision, given the environment that we're working in today. There are various elements. I'll just mention a few. Number one, definitely artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
Artificial intelligence is having an impact on the industry and how the industry is evolving, and it has having and will have a significant impact on how regulators evolve. Regulators of the future are regulators that will be using AI in their processes with respect to authorization and supervision.
Yeah.
So in order to make the authorization and supervision more efficient, but also more effective.
Yeah.
And in order to focus their work more on the analysis part, whilst leaving all the report writing and all the basic analytical work.
Yeah.
In terms of producing reports that you can review to make a supervisory judgment
Yeah.
to the artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
And that's something that we're seeing develop across Europe, but also in Malta. It is something that we're currently discussing to see how we can implement in our processes.
Yeah.
So that's number one. Number two is tokenization. There's tokenization is developing, perhaps not at a very fast pace, but we're seeing various use cases of tokenization in capital markets, in the field of collective investment schemes, but also in the field of banking.
Yeah.
And that will change the way business is carried out. Stable coins and the impact of stable coins on the stability of the financial system is another very important topic, something which will develop further around the world. And then we'll need to see what other risks emerge. I mean, currently the geopolitical risk is something that we're constantly debating, and how it impacts the stability of the financial system is something that we constantly look into and debate both nationally but also at European and international level.
Yeah. I can't seem to not notice the use of the word we when speaking about tokenization in particular. I think it's an example of how regulators are keeping abreast with new innovative technologies. In your opinion, what is the role of the regulators in financial services in staying ahead of innovation?
Well, just to be clear, regulators can never be ahead of innovation. That's very difficult. So when innovation comes, regulators look into innovation and then see how to adapt regulation to that innovation. However, having said that, Malta, as I mentioned before, International Financial Center, it's a small country. We have sectors that are focused on services primarily, and managing to be always ahead of the curve, if you want to use that term, is important for the survival of the country and its economy. So we can't have an economy which is thriving with a regulator which does not understand what's happening within the financial system, does not understand innovation within the financial system, and does not try to adapt.
Exactly.
So hence why we're always trying to be ahead of the curve. Hence why we're constantly looking at what's happening out there and seeing how we can adapt our regulation to what's happening in the market. First of all, to ensure investor protection, market integrity, and the stability of the financial system, but also at the same time to be able to continue to attract the players out there to come and establish themselves in Malta and provide services in different jurisdictions. Ultimately, that is one of our main industries, and that is how the economy of the country survives. Now, that then in itself puts us in a position where we have additional responsibilities than other regulators. Why? Because we're not only responsible to ensure that the local investors are properly protected, but we have the additional role of ensuring that investors coming from all these other jurisdictions are equally protected. And hence why we've got cross-border supervision as one of our top supervisory priorities. And it's one of the areas where we focus our supervision on a yearly basis. And bringing me back then to the importance of having competence at the MFSA, having competence in the jurisdiction with respect to financial regulation and compliance, ensuring high standards, and again, bringing me back then to the importance of this master's degree. The master's degree has been established for the purposes of ensuring that we've got proper professionals out there and at the MFSA that understand the financial system, that understand regulation, but not only regulation in terms of what the law says, but how it is implemented in practice.
Yeah.
And that's why this is extremely important for the future of Malta as a jurisdiction of choice for financial services. And I highly recommend to all the professionals out there that have an interest in being part of this ecosystem to continue their studies, and in particular to read for this master's in financial regulation and compliance.
And now I want to switch the hats a little bit, because outside of being the Chief Officer Supervision at the MFSA, you're also an academic yourself. And you also lecture at the University of Malta, and you also lecture abroad in various institutions. Can you speak to me a little bit more about your academic career? What really brought upon this kind of joy and passion that I see every single day from you when it comes to academia?
And it's a joy of knowledge, a joy of research, and basically this is something that I got from my father, who enjoys research as well, and something that has evolved from doing one master's after my degree, my bachelor's degree, doing another master's, then following a PhD, and then continuing to research and publish various articles on a yearly basis. It is also what has drove the initiative of trying to get a journal at the MFSA, and something that we've worked, both of us, very close together in order to make it a reality. It's a journal which tries to bring academics together with regulators and to explore different fields of financial regulation and compliance, not only from a professional point of view and the supervisory point of view, but also from an academic point of view, and going into detail and doing proper research and publishing something of substance. So basically it's the joy of knowledge, something that I try to pass on to all the people I interact with, especially the MFSA employees and my students. And I always tell them that try to go beyond your area of expertise. Try to learn more about other areas which are equally important.
Me and Benjamin earlier on, and he's also worked with us on the JFSA, we actually did speak during our interview about kind of your approach with your students and how many of MFSA's employees today are actually ex-students of yours who were inspired through you being their lecturer to begin a career in financial supervision or begin a career in financial services the day they're in the industry. And I think that we've asked quite a lot of the guest lecturers what advice they would give to potential students to the master's degree. But I would like for you to maybe potentially give advice to lecturers and the importance lecturers play in the success of a degree such as ours.
I think lecturers form part of the success of every student ultimately. It's not just the masters. I mean, they have a responsibility not only to lecture them, but also to mentor them and to try to instill in them the joy of knowledge and try to instill them the joy of not being factors of production, but being proper thinkers and contributing to society. So I think that is the main role of each and every lecturer that we have, and who's contributing not only to the masters, but to any qualification that is provided.
And I have two last questions for you. My first one is, after 25 years, experiencing the ups and downs of the financial services landscape and working with the MFSA, what keeps you motivated to keep going, to keep driving, to keep coming up with these ideas and keep pushing every single day as the Chief Officer Supervision?
I strongly believe that MFSA can be one of the best regulators in Europe. We are in an environment which is constantly changing, and that change needs us to adapt. And what I try to drive at MFSA is the push to be the best. The best in what we do with respect to supervision, the best with respect to what we do with respect to regulation, and with respect to the service that we provide to our community.
And my second and final question is a bit of a twofold. In the 6 years that I've worked with you, I think one of the main things I can always pinpoint about Professor Christopher Buttigieg is that you are like a walking encyclopedia. I don't think that there's anything that you don't know. Your knowledge seems to be quite vast. You've published a lot of papers, you've done a lot of research in various different areas. A lot of people see that as challenging, to stay up to date, to seek knowledge. What drives you particularly to constantly have this widespread horizontal knowledge in your field?
I would like to start by saying I'm not
yes,
a
you
Superman.
Are. You are.
I know a lot of stuff, but I mean there's more that one can learn and build knowledge about.
Yeah.
So it's not something that can be, I mean, knowledge is very vast and one never knows enough.
Exactly.
But I've been lucky in life. I've been lucky for two reasons. Reason number one is that I've, as I mentioned, I got inspired by my father who likes knowledge and research, and I've learned a lot from him. Number two, I've got, my wife supports me a lot. So she gives me the opportunity to be able to research, she gives me the opportunity to learn more, while she basically drives the family. So apart from work, I have university, but I also do my research. So I've been lucky to have these two persons that have supported me along the way.
Okay, thank you very much. I look forward for us to continue working on this program together. And for our viewers, we are looking forward to welcoming you as students on the master's degree. If you have any questions or you would like to know more, please visit the university's website. Thank you.
Thank you very much.